Hey, morning, folks. So, first things first, looks like I'm 100% recovered from COVID. Still a little bit out of breath every once in a while. Happens when I have to quickly move somewhere or so on. But otherwise, no side effects. I got full taste, full smell, etc. My wife's also been released from hospital. She's still on 2 week sick leave, but she's doing really, really well. So, thanks for all the DMs and well wishes. Now, one of the other things we quickly want to discuss is the current change in the meta and the skill sets. And it's going to be a bit of a ramble from my side, but I'm going to use Microsoft Paint and just do an interpretation of how I see the game is progressing at the moment. So let's switch over to that. Okay, so what we have is good old Microsoft Paint, and it does glare a little bit, so but bear with me. So if we look at a normal map, we've got... no, didn't want to do that. So that's your normal map. Just take some circles. And I'm just using this as a quick explanation. So these are your cap circles, and this is what's happening at the moment. Oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. There we go. We've got freehand. My apologies. So this is what's happening at the moment. Everybody kind of spawns sort of the usual over there, and over there. Other team, possibly there, possibly there. We all know how the game works. Now, let's just use a thicker brush. Deadeye. Deadeye is the absolute big elephant in the room, because it is now causing battleships to all park back here, possibly back here, possibly back here. I've seen battleships and then your CVs over there, and I've seen battleships park next to the CV. Both sides do it right at the back. Why? Because Deadeye says nothing in your immediate proximity spotting you. So something like that. So something like that, and you are, you get 10% on your sigma. So this has got two big problems at the moment. I'm going to use a different color here to explain. The usual job of a destroyer. Destroyer tries to go in, cap, comes in, tries to cap, comes in, tries to cap. What's happening at the moment is how it used to work. So let's say you're in a Petropavlovsk, you're in a Alexander Nevsky, you are in a Des Moines, one of those really good support ships. You would try and move in somewhere around there. If you're on the other team, somewhere around there, or even on the outside as a cruiser, to try and support this destroyer. What's happening now, thanks to Deadeye, is your cruisers get immediately destroyed. So battleship crossfires, and he's got amazing sigma. Battleship crossfires straight in there. He's got amazing sigma, and he deletes the cruisers immediately. So now we've got a stalemated play where cruiser play isn't very good. Certain battleships got hit hard. I'm finding, and this is very much my personal opinion, that my Slava is getting focused ridiculously. Now, a little bit of a thing about the Slava. Slava isn't easy to get. It's 57,000 research points, I believe, and that means you got to do a either 6 line resets or 3 double line resets. Oh no, it took me months to grind my Slava. Slava has some of the best guns, and the Sigma actually improves after 15Ks. So this thing was made for Deadeye. What you're now seeing as well is up to 3 Thunderers per side. Because then that Thunderer with the HE spam is just ridiculous. So if you take something like a Vermont with super heavy AP, the new skill set, super heavy AP I think allows 5% more damage, but allows you to burn 30% longer. So now you're in your Vermont and you're trying to snipe, and you're playing sort of at the back. You're playing at the back there. Now, these 2 Thunderers over here spot you. They got something like a 24-kilometer range. They move just enough in that they can hit you, and you've got 30%. You got 30% more fires on you. That makes that playing that thing not fun. So yeah, you could be lucky and do a very big death strike on one of these, or you just get burned down. Certain cruisers with no AFT, BFT, they got absolutely slaughtered. Rip my little Flint. My Flint is now 11.3 kilometers range. At tier 7, I see tier 9s with 11.3 kilometers range. Rip Flint. I know they did change the Atlanta. Something like Smolensk did not get hit that hard. My Smolensk still does about 16k. And I now use IFHE and Pyrotechnician on that. So they are still viable. So the meta has certainly changed, and I think we're in for a big adaptation. No, it's not all bad. It's not all bad, and I want to give credit where credit is due. There's some very interesting builds coming out. Everybody knows that CVs did not get hit by the nerf bat that bad, except concealment, the 4-point skill right at the end. If you watch Askans, and I really do recommend that you watch Askans on Twitch, he is one of the best CV streamers, and he explains how he does things, and that's where I got the idea to actually do, when I did Strategy Sundays on the sort of Microsoft Paint thing, came from him, and that's why I'm just using Microsoft Paint here to actually explain what's going on. So with he will explain that he used to be more healthier, faster, stealthier. Stealthier is broken. They're probably going to fix that, hopefully, in the next patch. We'll see how that goes. But CVs did not get affected that badly. So some very interesting booster builds coming out. Full AA booster builds. I've got it on good. What do I want to use? What's the words I want to use? Good authority that certain booster builds will take out an entire midway strike in one pass. That's 10 planes, one pass, and it's gone. So why did this happen? Why did these skill changes happen? Personally, as I'm scratching my itch, I honestly think it was to do with subs. Very much submarines are coming. We've got no choice in the matter. Wargaming, we have seen time and again, does not listen to us. As players, they could not give a rat's ass what we think. Corbine Kalito, another good CC, community contributor, commented earlier this weekend that there wasn't enough happening on the test servers and with the super testers to get proper data on these changes, on these commander skill changes. And this has completely affected the testing process. Sorry, I didn't script this. This is very early in the morning. I'm kind of rambling, and I'm just want to put this out, my feelings towards this whole change. So not enough super testers tested us. Not enough testing took place, yet they rolled out these commander changes, and it's affecting the entire meta of the game. Now, a very interesting tweet that happened, and let's see if I can pull this up here quickly. a very interesting tweet that happened is from this gentleman. Good old Flameu. And this is the tweet that caught my attention. A nagging thought in the back of my mind is that Wargaming is/was well aware of how shit Deadeye is, and wants you all to spec it, only to nerf it heavily once the free respec ends and you're forced to retrain all battleship captains. In the past, I wouldn't entertain the idea. Nowadays. So, interesting thought from Flameu. I'm not a Flameu fan. Let's just get this out there. I find his streams and the way he does things incredibly toxic. But, excuse me, he's one of the biggest streamers. He gets 2,000 plus views. And he's one of the only guys that gets away with a lot of shit because he's that popular. He knows the inner workings of wargaming probably better than a lot of us. And he's not one of the community contributors we see that suck up greatly to wargaming. He calls them out and they bullshit. So we're going to see some changes. The meta is changing. I'm still adapting to the meta. I'm playing the meta quite a bit on the Thunder and so on. Georgia, for example, one of my favorite ships, 19-point full secondary build captain. I've turned it into a secondary sniper. Yeah, I took the secondary skills, but I've changed some of the modules, etc., and I'm playing it as a sniper now. Games where you saw us, for example, take 3 Massachusetts at the middle of 2 brothers or something. I think that games are done. Secondary builds are no longer as strong and viable, and you see it by the hesitation of battleships pushing in, the proliferation of destroyers. And yeah, I still get comments about my DD hate video from a couple of months ago. People, opinions change. You know, this is the meta has changed. I think the longer range cruisers like the Petro, etc., is going to get more and more popular. I've been playing my Drake quite a lot, trying to get the Goliath, and she still does okay. But I think the Petro, because of its strength and its armor and how low it sits in the water, is going to see a lot more high tier play. I think something like a Goliath that sits high out of the water, easily gets Citadel. We're not going to see that being played a lot. Des Moines, Salem's. So Des Moines I don't see that often. Salem is more popular. Salem has that ability to heal up. It's got that super heal, so Salem is getting a little bit more popular. Zaus, don't see them really. Hindenburgs, you see them, but the Hindenburg has always been a kiting away cruiser. So if the Hindenburg can avoid getting dead-eyed by the battleships, it's good. But your problem is your Hindenburg isn't a support cruiser that your destroyers require. Doesn't have radar or anything of that sort. It doesn't have a fast fire rate. Can't move in and support your destroyers when they're trying to camp. So some destroyers I see are super popular and it's a little bit annoying to play against them. Shimakazes are all over the place now. I've personally, and this is very much my opinion, I've noticed a huge drop in Hallands, Smålands. Although, for example, Andy still does great in his Småland. My Marceau got absolutely wrecked on stream the other night. But okay, that was also a Halland and a Minotaur. Talking about Minotaur, Neptune Minotaur, I don't see that being a meta at all until they change some of the things. So, interesting times ahead. I'm going to stop rambling now. This has been 14 minutes of me just talking shit. I hope everybody is giving the commander rework the necessary, what's the word I want to use? The necessary attention it reserves. Go through those skills. There's some really good reading material out there. And don't just take the recommended skills. Some of those recommended skills from Wargaming is utter shit. Get your captains and stuff respect before the next patch. And I think we've got until the end of February to do it. So I'm going slowly through my ships. Some ships were brilliantly affected. My Julio Cesar at tier 5, that thing is still OP. I think I had a 150,000 damage match in it yesterday. So the Julio Cesar has been good for it, but the Julio has always been overpowered at tier 5. When it hits tier 7, it struggles a bit, but it's still a broken ship. But like I said, something like my Flint, Rip Flint, 11.3 kilometers. There's not much you can do about it. You have to play very strategic, or you have to go and play Operation Narai so you can use your Flint. So we'll see how the meta develops. We'll see how the builds develop. I'm interested to try that AA booster. I'm interested to try some different stuff. Grosser first, Rip, you're going to be in my port for a while, not getting used. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for indulging me in my quick bit of a ramble and a rant. I hope everybody has a fantastic, fantastic week on this Monday. Again, thank you for every message, every Twitter message, every message on Discord, every message on Twitch regarding COVID and recovering from it. The support from the community has been amazing, and I wish you all well during this week. Take care. Cheers.